Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru, and tonight I'll be discussing a few movie related topics popping up in our pop culture news. Um, First off, I'd like to discuss the announcement of Warner Brothers discussing a sequel to The Goonies. After 40 years, they have had quite the fan base to pick up right where they left off. They've been reporting on this on the Today Show. I'll make sure to leave a link to the article down below. But I thought it was really fascinating. We got the cast coming out in the news, publicly in the press, talking about how they're adamant about the sequel being made. So really fantastic for those of you that are big fans of the Goonies. A sequel is in development with, of course, Steven Spielberg executively producing and Chris Columbus directing. So really fantastic news there. I thought it was interesting about how they talked about the story and the morals of the original film and how it's such an iconic piece of cinema history. We really don't get films like that anymore. So apparently Steven Spielberg has sent a signed poster to Stan Austin, and he asked him, "Are you still a Goonie?" And he replied, "Yes," on social media. Stan Austin even replied that he still carries the One-Eyed Willie treasure map in his home, so he is a diehard Goonie, as well as all the original cast. We're not exactly sure how much they will have to do with the sequel film. They do have to be called to shoot sequences for the movies. They have all pretty much been very open to hearing from Steven Spielberg about reprising their roles. So very fascinating stuff there with The Goonies 2. After 40 years, we're now getting a sequel. So that's really cool. That was talked about just 10 days ago. Like I said, I'll put the description down below. Moving on to some more movie-related news, we've got two trailers that recently dropped. The 28 Years Later trailer, extended trailer, recently dropped on the internet. I thought it was fantastic. They still used the same music, which was fine, alright. But we got to get a little bit more of the world building for this Danny Boyle creation. He was, of course, the director of the original 28 Days Later, coming back to finish off this franchise that he has created. So really fun news there for you that are really big fans of the 28 Days, Weeks, and now Years Later franchise. We also got the Fantastic Four new trailer dropped just today with our first look at the new Woman Silver Surfer. I thought that was really cool to see. Very cinematic. It had sort of a Panavision tone to it. Stuff that we don't really get a lot of these days. So really exciting news. Moving on from there, I do have a little bit of information written down in my journal. So going off from there, we've got the announcement from Sony. This was a few days back, but Sony Entertainment announced that they are doing a live-action Legend of Zelda film, which a lot of people believe will be inspired on the Breath of the Wild storyline. This has a release date of March 26th of 2027. So I thought it was kind of premature to be announcing the release of this movie, but we do have a director attached. I don't have it written down, but I believe he was the director of the latest Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes films. So let me look up real quick just who that director was so I can give you guys accurate information. Kingdom of Planet of Apes. Let's see. It came out in 2024. I've done a review for it already. I really enjoyed the film. Director Wes Ball. So Wes Ball is directing our new, I believe, live-action Legend of Zelda movie. So that's really interesting to hear. Moving on from there, that was Sony Entertainment. Then we've got the Gremlins, a new Gremlins feature film is being announced and produced, along with Goonies 2. These are some of the iconic 80s franchises that are coming back. Then, of course, a new Oceans movie, which I believe is coming from Warner Brothers as well, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as, respectively, George Clooney and his sister's characters' parents, and showing how their parents were people that stole from the rich and taught their kids how to steal. So that's really cool. I haven't watched any of the Oceans movies, so if you guys recommend those movies, definitely comment down below. Leave your thoughts. We've got Warner Brothers confirms Drew Goddard is working on a new Matrix movie, Matrix 5, which is very interesting to hear about Warner Brothers continuing this franchise after the fourth installment. I believe it was Resurrection. Didn't do too well. The fan base didn't really take to it like the first three films. I thought it was very interesting. They only brought back one of the Wachowskis to work on Resurrection, so maybe that was the reason why it felt different. And then, of course, this new person being brought on to write the scripts, this Drew Goddard, he's worked on things such as, The Martian, Cabin in the Woods, and then the current Daredevil Born Again series. So he's worked on scripts for all of them. He's written the screenplays. So that's very interesting. They trust him on developing a Matrix 5. And so far we haven't heard whether or not Keanu Reeves or Lawrence Fishburne or even Trinity is going to return. So far it's sounding like a reboot of the Matrix without using past characters. So that'll be a little confusing as well for people, but it might do well. So moving on, we've also got The Bodyguard, the iconic Kevin Costner film from the 90s, is being rebooted. We've yet to hear about the cast announcements for this film, but The Bodyguard, very interesting that they're rebooting that. Beetlejuice 3 has been announced. It's in pre-production, getting ready to shoot some point in 2026, the reports are saying. So really fantastic. If you guys liked Beetlejuice, you can still check it out on HBO Max, or buy or rent it on digital right now, or get the physical media disc, because I really liked the sequel to Beetlejuice. They also talked about I Am Legend 2, which I thought was very fascinating. 20 years late, if you ask some people, but for some reason they're continuing this franchise with Will Smith returning, apparently on the road trying to find a new settlement or camp of survivors, which kind of contradicts the ending of the first film for those of us that loved that movie. And then our last bit of movie news announcements was our Godzilla and Kong 3 had some more cast announcements. They've gotten Sam Neill from the Jurassic Park franchise, which is great, fantastic A-list casting for this IP that needs to get a little bit more credible. If you ask me, they need to get more A-list celebrity actors in here to give it a bit better story. Some people are speculating and debating whether or not they should just get rid of humans altogether in the multiverse, or monsterverse, with Godzilla and Kong. I think their humans could still have a good story to tell, but they need to give them something to do. I mean, people have been referencing robot suits like Pacific Rim. I believe the franchise is going in that direction. How that will portray itself, will it be like Gundam? A lot of people are hoping for something like that. Sydney Sweeney is attached to do a live-action Gundam project, so hopefully that will get made. But that was all the movie news going on this week that I have heard about, that I'm reporting. So be sure to like the video, comment down below what are your thoughts, share the video for all your friends. Be sure to follow me here on Instagram and Threads at Screen Scene Guru for future updates, comments, commentary on movies, gaming, television, all sorts of things. Until next time, guys, I want to say farewell, have a good one, and catch me on my next video. Alrighty. Bye.